Good day everyone, MicHAL here. With Will and Charlie still celebrating/recovering from the new year, we've decided to have a look at some of the highlights from our podcast that was named Best of iTunes 2016. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out why too. If you can work it out, please let us know via the Facebook page, or on Twitter at TOFOP. In the meantime, please enjoy this look back at the year that was. Take it away, Mr. Deeks.
The following episode of TOFOP is rated MA. It may contain Batman references, time travel references, sexual references, lost trains of thought, and mild coarse language. TOFOP advises that the program is not suitable for anyone under the age of 15, or anyone who enjoys succinct, coherent conversation that might actually have a point. Minors must be accompanied by a parent, guardian, or priest. This is John Deek speaking.
BCD, Go, Alpha, Grape Juice, Ribena, Mountain Dew.
Hang on, what are you doing?
I was doing a sound check.
Is that, but hang on, why were you saying those words in particular? Is that like an actor's thing? Is that like one of those like warm-up exercises?
Yeah, but I was just making it up.
Okay, so that wasn't like a...
No, that's not a genuine... the only vocal warm-up I do is Woi Woi War Memorial.
Hang on, tell me what that one is.
Well, it's
Woi Woi War Memorial.
It's because Australian men...
Woi Woi War Memorial.
We don't use it. We often keep our lips still when we talk. It's that kind of... We just talk like that. And so sometimes it's hard to hear. So a way to practice using...
Just for the record, you know how we were just speculating before we decided to do the mic check, why is Ramona in here?
Yeah.
It turns out it was to just come in and fart.
Oh, Jesus. Then, I just got it as you said that.
And then leave.
Oh, farting really is the fourth dimension.
Man. And then she just fucked off. She just came into this mostly airtight room.
Terrible.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know what's going on with her at the moment. But
I think she's eating... It's like she's eating shit and then shitting it out, then eating it again and shitting it.
I don't think that is what's happening. But she's actually eating... I've been making them food, but to try to combat this.
Have we started the show?
No, well, I am recording, so we could have. Yeah. Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's start.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds okay. So.
Everyone relax. This is TOFOP. I'm Charlie Clausen.
Oh, yeah. We did it so far in, I forgot how it went.
No, I forgot too.
Okay,
thanks for the point. I've heard you joke about Ramona farting in here on FOFOP and stuff. I don't think I've ever... That's the first full brunt assault, and it was terrible.
Mate, when Amy and I...
now I understand why there's that T-shirt with her farting.
Yeah, we drove, Amy and I, to Byron Bay to go for a holiday. I know you also went for a holiday to Byron Bay.
Yeah.
We went for an earlier holiday to Byron Bay.
Yeah, we have it in our contracts. We don't travel together to the same place at the same time.
Yeah, podcasting rules, like the Royals. And only for the royalty of podcasting and us.
Yeah.
We're like that weird cousin that you're like, they're royalty too? And they're like, we are.
Yeah, they're the ones who inbred to keep the bloodline pure.
So we decided that we would get this place where we could take the dogs. So we went to Suffolk Park, that beach
That's
there.
That's also
Tallows.
where I stayed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And there's that big dog beach there, and you can let the dogs off the leads and stuff. And so brilliant thing for a holiday, a house where they were happy for you to have a dog, and then we're just walking distance down to this beach. Brilliant. Had a really great time. It was really fun. But we drove, obviously, to take the dogs up there. And it was during a storm. When we drove up, it was.
I just imagined what a car filled with two dog farts smelled like. And we
couldn't open the windows because it was raining so badly.
Now you're someone who doesn't cope well with.
I do not.
Smells.
Charlie. I do not cope well with that at all. And Amy is very smell.
Oh yeah, she's even worse than you.
Well, yeah, she's not as sensitive as me, but she has a greater sense of smell.
Yeah, so more things bother her.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She has some like super sense. Like her sense of smell is like incredible.
That's not the X-Men power you want. Is like real sensitive smell.
She's like a human sommelier. She can tell what I've eaten like hours before. Yeah, she's amazing.
From smelling what? Just your skin?
I mean, I just guess. I don't even know. Like, sometimes I, like, brush my teeth and stuff and, like, wash my face, and still she's like, yeah, you had this. And I was like...
And you look down and there's a whole bowl of bolognese on your lap.
I mean, there may be a hidden camera.
Yeah.
Somewhere around the house. I mean, she may have a live stream of me at all times.
Why do you want me to take this teddy bear into the shower? Just do it.
When you eat, take the teddy bear. Why? I don't understand.
When you go out to do your podcast, take the teddy bear.
Yeah, so we were stuck in this car. It was horrible. It was really horrible, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I've started cooking for them. So
do you change their diet?
Like, well, did I change their diet after the farts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. I've started cooking food for them because we tried all the brands of, like, food and all the really expensive, like, sciencey ones and shit, and nothing was working. I mean, they are...
Still farts. Just farts.
I mean, they are fatty dogs.
Yeah.
But here's what you've got to realize about them is... I think really it's really kind of a harm minimization scheme you've got to go for. You can't assume that there is going to be no farts at all. What I think you've got to do, again, like the sommelier, is you've got to work out on
what farts you can put up with?
Right. So what foods, like there's going to be farts. You've just got to go, hey, okay, here's the deal. There is no solution to no farts. Well, there's kind of a solution, which is charcoal tablets, but I don't want to give them charcoal tablets every day. That doesn't seem like...
It's the same as if you have to ride on a school bus with 15 teenage boys. There's going to be farts.
Right.
Like...
It's just part of it.
What can you tolerate?
Okay, so what can you tolerate, right? So you don't want the egg sandwich day, right? So it's the same with the dogs. And so I've kind of been weaning them onto food that is like... So I've been cooking it myself. I go and get, like, if there's, like, chicken... Here's the thing about... Because I'm a vegetarian, so I don't ever think about these sort of things. And I always watch all of those cooking shows, and I love them, and I can never cook. But now I've got this compromised position where I can cook...
For dogs.
For dogs. It's so horrible. You're like, I love animals, but kill them for my animals.
Yes.
So, anyway, what I've been doing in the summer, it's summer here, and like, you know, I like to turn on the bar.
It's summer in Australia. Because when it's summer in Australia, you know cricket is the number one game in town. Yo, ask anyone around. Yo. From Bunbury in the east to Bunbury in the west to Darwin to Dandenong, whatever the address might be. You can see me on the TV. Well, not just me, but the commentary team. They're sort of my boys, if you know what I mean. Now, I thought captaining Australia was a pretty tough job. But it's absolutely nothing compared to looking after this mob. Let me see. There's Greg and Ann, morning Richmond. And then, of course, there's me. And we say, dun, 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 dun. What a marvellous ball. Dun, 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 dun.
What a marvellous catch.
Dun, 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 dun. What a marvellous crowd. Dun, 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 dun. With the commentary team. And we see the game. It's marvellous. Yeah, I don't know how we got to that. Because it's summer in Australia. R-U-S. Every Sunday night when my head hits the pillow, I drift off to sleep and I dream about leather. What? And Willow, Bill, and Porter, and Bernie, and Dino, and McDermott, and Moody. Whoever it might be in the Super Australian side of seasons 91, 92. What about Big Merv? Yes, him too. Oh, come on. Is he a hero, this man? Oh, turn it up, bull. He may be to you. Well, he's got a lot of guts. Well, he eats too much food. Hey, you two. Look, it really doesn't matter. Look, no one gives a stuff if Big Merv's a little fatter.
Oh, my God.
Just as long as we're beating those Pakis or Poms or West Indians or South Africans, it doesn't matter where they're from. It might be India, Zimbabwe, or New Zealand. If I don't take a breath, I reckon I might just be killing over soon. Come on, Richard can't afford to take a breath.
This is the best. We may owe Billy Birmingham some money after this, but this is the best.
All because you said it's summer in Australia. That when it's summer in Australia, if you don't like cricket, I can tell you it's a real bummer that. It's cricket, number one game in town.
Yo.
Yeah, just ask anyone around.
MCG Hammer.
Yeah. My name is Richie, and I'm the king. I'm the king commentator. I'm the number one thing, but I'm a singer too, and a jammer. And that's when I become MCG Hammer, and I feel a solo coming on. Do it, Rich. Yo! You took me way back then, Will. We had a discussion about the microphones.
And whether they were in the right direction. Because I think in the Christmas episode they were not.
Yeah, well, because I cut that episode, and I haven't cut an episode in a while. And I was listening to it sounds like really muffled or in the distance. So I came into the pod cave and I was like, oh yeah, they're pointed in the wrong direction. direction.
That's the thing that I don't understand, though. It's like there's almost like a ghost of this podcast because there's no reason that we'd be pointed in the opposite direction. It's not like when we finish podcasting, we turn them around until next time. Like from the last time I podcast, I just assumed they were still in the correct direction.
Yeah, but we fuck around a lot when we come into the pod cave. Like we have to step around the mic stands and stuff. Like there is a bit of faffing. So I reckon that it's not inconceivable that we could have moved it in one of our 15-minute get into the chair, talk about football, pre-show conversations.
But for both of us to have put them in the opposite direction to what they need to be.
You know how like John Lennon and Paul McCartney were so in sync they created amazing music? We're so in sync we create terrible podcasts.
Right. I mean, terrible audio, I would like to think, rather than terrible content. Who knows? You be the judge. Anyway, this podcast brought to you by our subscribers on Patreon because we haven't had a chance really to talk in a live sense. I've mentioned it a couple of times at the intros and stuff, but to talk about the fact that people actually support the podcast now, and it's fantastic, and the support's been really fantastic so far. Overwhelming response, really, and we're going to add some more like shit to it, and look, if we can get to a certain amount, Ramona is like,
she's like no more.
She's like, no more. You know what it is? I think she doesn't like the podcast.
Oh, really?
I think she came in.
Well, it's because I'm back.
Right.
While I was gone, she was the world's worst co-host.
Right. And now you're back and she's like, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. I don't like him. I just want to sit in here with you farting in front of strangers.
Yeah. She's like the Sammy Hagar. Like, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, Sammy Hagar took over and everyone's like, yeah, Sammy Hagar's good. It still sounds like Van Halen. And then David Lee Roth comes back and is like, oh, no. That's much better.
Right. You're
the Sammy Hagar of dogs. How do you feel about that, Ramona?
Ramona does not feel good about it. I think she's the one who turned the mics around. I think she snuck in here, pissed on the floor, as she sometimes does, and then turned the microphones around. She was like, fuck your podcast.
So this is our first kind of post-break holiday, summer break. We both had holidays.
Yeah, we did.
You went to Honkers.
Well, that was a work trip / holiday.
Yeah.
So I had to do 2 hours of standing up comedy. Well, I did 70-minute shows, so whatever that is, do the math yourself. But I was meant to do an hour, but there was no show after me, so there was a little extra. It was one of those things where it was the first year of a festival, Charlie. Now, I'm going to tell you and the listeners.
The Hong Kong Comedy Festival.
It was the Udderbelly Festival. Now, Udderbelly are one of the huge producers in Edinburgh, the world's biggest arts festival. They're in Edinburgh. In the comedy sense, there are only a few massive producers, massive venues, and Underbelly is one of those.
Udderbelly.
So the group is called Underbelly, but their main venue is called the Udderbelly. And it is an upside-down purple inflatable cow. It's kind of like the Spiegel tent, but it's a venue they take all over the world, and you perform in an upside-down inflatable cow, basically, right? And I left a dairy farm.
You realise you just said that sentence. You go to work in an upside-down inflatable cow.
Right. That travels the world. I've worked in that cow in Scotland, I've worked in that cow in England, and I've worked in that cow now in Hong Kong. It's the reason that inflatable cow took me to Hong Kong. I left the dairy farm 24 years ago, Charlie, in my white Barina that I got for my 18th birthday. Well, that I bought for myself for my 18th birthday. And I drove away and I said, no more cows. Never look back. Yeah. I will enjoy cheese. I will drink some milk in my coffee. But
you said, sorry, cows, I'm moving on.
That's what I said. I said, I am utterly sick of your shit and I am out of here. So they were cheesed off, but I think everything was fine in the end. Anyway, don't want to butter you up, but here is what I was trying to say. I went to Hong Kong and I performed in a giant upside down inflatable purple cow under the building from The Dark Knight.
Right. The one that when he has to bust in to get the dude?
Well, technically, I was under the building that he flies from to bust into that building.
Okay.
So, but yes, in that general vicinity. The original building rather than the broken into building.
So is that like the tallest building in Hong Kong or something? Is that why it's...
It is. Now, have you ever been to Hong Kong?
No.
It's fucking... it's rad. I loved it. I thought I had a really good time. I had a much better time than I expected that I was going to
What do
have.
I know about Hong Kong?
Yeah, what do you know? So I knew nothing. I really stumbled into Hong Kong with the gist of what Hong Kong would be like, and I was wrong.
What
I was
do I know
wrong
about
What?
Hong Kong?
Yeah, what do you know? What do you imagine Hong Kong to be?
It was a British colony. I know that. Mm-hmm. So I imagine there's a lot of English speaking there.
Right.
English-speaking Chinese people.
Yeah, not as much as you'd think.
Are they considered Chinese?
Okay, yeah.
Or
Well,
Hongkonese?
they're Chinese now.
Is Hongkonese a word?
Well, it's a word. It may be a racial slur. I don't know. I'm not sure what the people of Hong Kong actually call themselves, but they are...
Honkies.
Honkies.
Got it.
We're honkies. You a natural honky? Yeah, I'm a honky. From way back. Originally British and now Chinese.
Yeah, right.
But predominantly, as you walk around, Chinese, like... Asian-looking people, and certainly, yes, people in businesses and stuff speak English, but don't expect that everybody speaks English. Don't expect that you can walk into a shop and the person there will necessarily speak English, because that is not the case.
It's a harbour city.
Yeah, it's on the water.
All right,
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Because I see those all right. I may have about to lose all my credits. Like dragon boats. Do you see kind of like old sort of sailboats, like dragon boats, Chinese sailing boats in the harbour?
Are you thinking about the Chinese New Year celebrations at Darling Harbour in Sydney?
No, I'm thinking of...
Are you thinking about the Birdman rally at Moomba?
I'm thinking of Indiana Jones.
They're made out of beer cans, right?
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah, that's right.
That's my other...
Yeah.
I think that's Hong Kong, isn't it?
you get old... You don't... Possibly. I did not see any in the week that I was there and we were on the harbour, but...
Jackie Chan drove a car through, like... Is there kind of like a favela district like you got in Brazil? Like all kind of like sort of cheap houses all like on a hillside somewhere?
Yes, but you know the most interesting thing about Hong Kong was... I've never seen a city like there's 8 million people, nearly 8 million people in like this tiny island. Like you've been to New York, right? And people talk about the idea of New York being like busy or like New York being this city that never sleeps. Fucking New York's nothing. New York's on fucking NyQuil compared to Hong Kong. Like Hong Kong, these people are all jammed in together. The subway system there is the most amazing thing I've ever been on in my entire life. It's like the way they get around that city and like, you know, the packed like, you know, trains and whatever, but the way that it all functions in it like a really good and effective way. It's insane. But you will see these $1 billion like monolith high like skyscrapers, and then right next to them is like a building made out of bamboo. Like somebody has made like
and I know that, and 3 little pigs live inside it, right?
I know, yeah. And then there's one that's made out of straw. And it's like, that you just haven't experienced her way before, but she fucking marches the beat of her own drum.
Well, she's a fucking Amazon warrior. Of course she's going to snap her neck.
She is.
I'm sick of these double standards for women. And
absolutely. I mean, she's fucking one woman in a superhero fucking tribe that's dominated by useless fucking men. One of them can't even get out of the water. And yet somehow he's got a head further than she has. So, I mean, come on.
Talia fights...
She's the Beyonce, I imagine, Wonder Woman. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's like, you know...
She's going to break out.
You know,
she'll be fine in solo career, yeah.
You know...
Oh, you women, wave your lassos.
Yeah, we're all women. Yeah.
Flying your invisible jet.
Yeah, we're all Wonder Women.
Yeah, she could... No, she'll be Oprah. She won't be fucking Beyonce. She'll have her own fucking...
You get an invisible jet.
The WW network.
Yeah.
So Talia fights Batman and is defeated.
Okay.
But the Justice League now has to deal with the OMAC army and the real mastermind behind its creation.
Oh, hang on. So someone's behind all this that we haven't yet experienced.
Who of the DC villain universe who would be behind it?
I mean, Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Lex Luthor.
Using a powerful EMP generator.
Okay.
Electromagnetic.
That was big for a while as well, wasn't it? An EMP. Well, that's actually
Dark Knight. There's a couple of Dark Knight.
You know what?
This
is like, you know what? It was doing a lot of things that have been big set pieces.
That's what I was saying before.
I know, but
okay.
But I didn't have enough evidence there to believe you. But
to jump to your conclusions.
Well, you know what? You've already read this, so you got a sense from things that were coming up that was
not a race,
case.
Mate. Not a race. It's just I'm smarter than you.
Well, I mean, A, you just made it a race, and B, that would be... Imagine if that was like the race. You're like, one person is allowed to do it all first before you know there's a race.
I just took intellectual peptides. Using a powerful EMP generator created by Wayne Industries, and aided by the former Kid Flash Wally West.
Okay.
Now the second Flash.
Yeah, sure.
The Justice League defeats the
I mean,
Omax.
by the way, Flashes aren't fucking interchangeable, George Lucas. I will say that, though. I understand what he's doing.
Hang on, what did you say?
He's getting both Flashes in, but you know what? You fucking killed the first Flash.
George Miller.
What did I say?
You said George Lucas.
Oh, fucking George Lucas. Sorry, George Lucas.
Sorry, George Miller.
Sorry.
We're never getting him on the show.
No. He's my neighbour. He'll be into it.
Gotta ask him. Okay.
He's been away winning awards.
Yeah, fuck, hasn't he? I mean, we should listen back. There is an episode, I'm sure people out there know better than us, where we talk about the upcoming Mad Max film, mainly My Hopes and Dreams. Uh-huh. And you were like, I think you make a prediction like Tom Hardy will, win an Oscar or something like that. And you were close because if you had told me a year ago that Mad Max Fury Road would be up for 10 Oscars, you'd be like, you know what? Actually, you know what it is? Have you seen the new Entourage film?
Yep.
Terrible. And the film,
and I don't mind Entourage.
No, I don't mind Entourage either. But that movie was so bad, and
terrible.
There's this conceit in it where Vince wants to direct a film, and halfway through the film, you see like the first 5 minutes of the film, and it looks awful, the worst music video you've ever seen.
Well, because
then by the end.
But it turns out the people...
He's like a DJ. It's like the Matrix. He's like a DJ who's got superpowers, and was he shooting lightning out of his hands or something stupid?
But basically, you're watching a terrible movie about someone... Like, they're already making a terrible movie, and within it, they're trying to make this movie, which it turns out is also terrible because the people making the movie do not know how to make movies.
Yeah.
Both of them are terrible.
Let alone a film.
The fictional movie and the movie you're watching, both are terrible.
And that actually makes the plot quite confusing because the rest of the film is spent with people pleading with people to give them more money so they can complete it because it's a masterpiece.
Right.
But you've seen that 5 minutes and it looked awful.
Really picks up from there. Really comes home strong.
But then the final conceit of the film is that it gets nominated for like Best Oscar, Best Director, Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor. And you're like... Never. No, that would never happen.
No, it would not happen.
So, if you had told me a year ago that Mad Max Fury Road was going to... You'd be like, you are crazy. I mean, it is bizarre.
I don't think it's bizarre. I don't think it's been...
The Dark Knight wasn't nominated.
I don't think it'll win as many as it deserves to win, by the way. It'll win a lot of technical ones, but I hope it'll win more than that. Because...
He has to be a shot for director.
I hope so.
Because it's actually one of the most...
I don't think it's been a great year for... Like, I mean, I know there's been some good movies this year, but I don't think it's like a standout year where you're like, it's definitely going to be this film or it should be definitely... Like, some of the nominations, like, I went and saw Jobs the other night.
Yeah, you didn't like Jobs, I could tell.
Well, it's like... Okay, firstly, Michael Fassbender's been nominated. I really like Michael Fassbender, but he looked like Michael Fassbender. Like
Someone else complained about that.
I did not feel like he ever really made me feel like he was Steve Jobs. I'm going to say something really fucking controversial. I reckon Ashton Kutcher felt more like fucking Steve Jobs than Michael Fassbender did.
I know you're.
I was just like watching Michael Fassbender.
I know you're upset right now, Will. So I'm just going to pretend like you didn't say that. I haven't seen the Ashton Kutcher one.
Well, secondly, Aaron Sorkin, who again I like everyone who's involved in this film. Like I didn't want to not like it. Yeah, I'm Danny Boyle, Kate Winslet. Like Kate Winslet has been nominated.
Kate Winslet, not Kate Winslet.
All right, Kate Winslet then, or whatever. Kate Winslet.
Oh, by the way, I was talking to someone about our idea of doing a limited edition TOFOP cassette tape.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! And everyone's like, "What did you say?" And I said cassette, and they said it's cassette. Now I went back and listened to it. We both say cassette. And then I asked someone else.
Is it a Victorian New South Wales thing?
I don't know. Well, there was two Kiwis and a Scot. Uh-huh. They both told me that
you were at the time in a joke.
Yeah.
We were in a bar with a horse, and
but they were saying cassette, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've always said cassette.
Cassette.
I said both.
Cassette.
What comes most naturally to you?
Cassette.
All right, finish this sentence for me. Kenny Everett, video.
Cassette.
So you say cassette. Oh, that was cassette. That wasn't cassette. We were saying cassette and cassette.
I mean, who cares? You knew what we meant. Was there anyone who was like, I don't understand what you're talking about now?
Coming from a dude who's made fun of the fact that I can't say penguins.
Oh, I mean, but that's different.
That's not.
No, that's different because what we're doing, I think, is probably a regional pronunciation. Like I think from
You reckon?
Yeah,
I'd be interested to know.
I think it'd be like Lego and Lego. It'd be like
You should put a poll on the Facebook page. Do you say cassette or do you say cassette?
Or Newcastle. You know what I mean? Like there is those regional ways of saying things that are different. So it's probably just
But
that.
you alternated between the two.
Amy mocks me all the time because she's from New South Wales. We've got different ways. Like the way I say milk, apparently.
Milk.
Like, milk, yeah.
Milk. I don't hear it. She's told me that.
But yeah.
She's complained about
that. I mean, milk comes up a lot. My parents are dairy farmers, you know? So anyway, all right. Good on you, George, is the point of that.
We're never getting him on the show. So, are they not birthing the aliens?
Well, no.
It doesn't sound like it.
I mean, that's why she's been able to have 10 and still keep that, bikini body.
Post-baby figure.
Yeah. So they just take the eggs at the end. They're just like,
They're like, the women just go and just dump their eggs and
Right.
just leave. So typical. In
No.
alien culture, they find that like very offensive.
Yeah.
She said she once saw a ship in the sky and moments later, her ovaries ached.
Oh, yeah, okay. Mate, who hasn't?
Oh, God. I mean, what guy has not been on a bus and got a
hasn't?
boner?
Who hasn't, mate? It's the tram boner. It's the equivalent. Who hasn't seen a spaceship and had a...
Bridget, are you okay? You look like you doubled over. You
God,
okay? Oh, my ovaries are just fucking vibrating.
I've got an ovary ache. You guys got an ovary ache? I've got like an ovary migraine.
For women who refuse to accept they may have alien children, Bridget said, there are certain things they can look for in their lives that might suggest otherwise.
Good tips,
Okay.
good clues.
Tips.
These are handy
spotting.
hints. Handy hints. If you have been out of sorts recently and think you may have been abducted by an alien and an alien baby, here are some handy hints, some things to look out for.
She said, there are signs you can look for, such as recurring dreams about doctor's offices or classrooms, missing time, and false pregnancies. These could mean you have hybrid children.
I don't think they could. I feel like that's not enough evidence.
What's the empirical data on that?
I don't feel like that has been peer reviewed.
The pair now have plans for a place where all the hybrid mothers can live together in the same home to act as a safe place for their children to visit.
They're going to call
TV show.
They're going to call the place
Real Housewives of Alien Planet.
The Real Housewives of the Milky Way. They're going to call the series Everyone's Off Their Meds.
Bridget says it will be somewhere away from the cities, somewhere where the children can visit, run free, and express themselves. Oh, how bummed out would you be if that hybrid kid, it's like, you're going to stay with your mum. It's like, oh, I can't, we're in the middle of nowhere. Like, they're going to want to they're going to be taking magic mushrooms and smoking weed before they know it.
Suddenly they're fucking dropout aliens.
Yeah, it's like...
real disappointment. They're meant to be the best of us all.
Exactly.
But
They're just fucking candle makers in Byron Bay.
working on some poetry and shit. He's meant to be the best of us, but all he can do is fire twirl.
People say we are crazy, but we are not. This is really happening to us.
By the way, most often when somebody says to someone you're crazy, the reaction is normally, no, I'm not. This is really happening. I mean, no disrespect, but that is.
Alien abductions have been reported ever since the early 60s.
Yeah.
When New Hampshire couple Barney and Betty Hill claimed, this is made up, claimed a flying saucer had kidnapped them. Yeah. Since then, thousands of other abductees have come forward with their tales have been taken by aliens. Many claim...
I love, by the way, that they're giving some background now. Like,
yeah.
By the way, these aren't the first people who think they've been abducted by aliens. Yeah, we all know that.
Mm-hmm. Many claim to have been the subject of medical or scientific experiments, while others say they were given messages warning about the future of humanity. Now...
What sort of messages?
Right, I love genre. I love sci-fi. I don't like aliens who can tell the future.
Why not?
Although that makes sense.
Because, Why does it make sense? It doesn't make sense.
Space-time.
Shut up. You can't just say two words together and assume that makes sense.
No, because time travel is possible through the movement through space. So it is possible.
But they wouldn't know what the future is in our planet. They might... No, that doesn't even make sense. The time wherever they were has to have already happened. And then when they travel through time, they will lose time on that journey. They can't... Like, they're not Time Lords. They're not traveling through... Like, they're traveling through space.
Yeah, you're right. They
time.
can go back. They can go forward, but they can't go back. All right, you win this round.
Welcome back to Two Idiots Argue Over Things that neither of them really know about. Your haircut, but you actually have to fucking put shit in your hair to make it look like
You
that.
look good with the moustache. I think you've got a good face for a moustache.
Yeah, my hairdresser keeps telling me that.
Yeah, because you've got a kind of angular face.
Yeah, apparently.
You won't look too sex pesty.
Yeah, no, not. I won't have a Sam Simmons moustache.
No.
Poor Sam. That's what had happened. Sam had accused me of stealing his material.
Yeah.
You get a good moustache as well. In fact, all three of us, I think, are good mustachioed gentlemen.
I've once
done
shaved the
November.
rest of my beard and looked at myself with a moustache, and I went, "Oh, that's what I would look like if I was the 67-year-old father of me," and I was really disappointed in who he was.
I looked like a cop. I
do.
shaved my beard into a moustache and I was like, cop.
Yeah.
Cop from the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, you can play cops throughout the ages.
Yeah, that's right.
That's been a real secret to your success.
That's true.
You're like an eternal cop.
Dependable.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever age it is, you could cast you with a different haircut and different facial hair as a cop.
Yeah,
You could play cop now. You could easily get cast as a cop now, but you could go cop back to 1950s at least, I reckon.
Oh,
You know what we can
1920s,
do?
mate. If I could go
Reckon?
earlier,
You've got that
definitely.
much range.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could play 1920s.
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
If I gave myself
this.
like that sharp undercut and the comb over with the brill cream and
Peaky,
stuff.
Peaky Blinders.
Wait for this.
Yeah, totally.
Wait
Yeah.
for this. Lost Cop. It's like Quantum Leap with a guy who just keeps going back and forth as a cop through different eras.
Quantum Cop.
Quantum Cop.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's actually something you could pitch. Quantum Cop. It's like Quantum
Yeah.
Leap, but with a cop. It's a crime
So
procedural.
does he control where he goes or it's random?
Random crimes.
Yeah, random
Unsolved crimes.
Oh, all the worst, most famous unsolved crimes.
Crimes
So
in
Jack the
history.
Ripper
Yeah.
and Boston Strangler, or did they catch him?
Jack the Ripper's the end of season 1.
Zodiac
When,
Killer.
like, do you know what I mean?
Zodiac Killer.
Zodiac Killer's the end of season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do all the big ones.
JFK.
But in between, you could do like little
Yeah,
ones.
do little ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Harold Holt.
Yeah.
Harold Holt.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, on par with JFK.
Yeah.
Harold Holt.
We were all thinking it.
I mean, it's a Down Under episode, like when the Simpsons
Yeah, that's
do
right.
go on out.
Yeah, in the second season, when the ratings are starting to slip.
Yeah, Quantum
Yeah.
Cop Down Under. solve the murder of.
I
Yeah.
feel like that show existed in the 80s in a different universe because it's too perfect.
Yeah. Why
Starring-
hasn't that been made?
Who would have been in it? Would have been like a Tom Selleck, Scott Bakula type. But
Yeah.
But
who
modern.
are we putting
Who's
in
the
it?
modern
No, it would be
day?
80s. It would be an 80s version.
Okay,
so.
right.
Oh,
We're making
hang on,
it.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
So
sure.
take someone like Scott Baio would have been too young. Don Johnson?
I mean,
Could he have been
I
Quantum
like the
Cop?
Don. No, I think the Don was a bit too grounded for me in Miami Vice. But I think you're in the.
Oh, what about Tom Berenger, Quantum Cop?
Yeah, but would it have been big enough with Tom Berenger? I
was
feel
a
like
star
this
in
was
the
like
80s, wasn't he?
I feel like this was something that like the person then went on to become a movie star.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this was their like
Oh,
role.
yeah.
I think
like,
you
this
would
is
be-
their ER for George Clooney.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
okay.
that's what it
Yeah.
is. It seems like it's a bit soapy when he's on Quantum
Okay, so
Cop, but once he becomes
So we got to work out then who became a big star in the 90s. So, like Bruce Willis.
okay,
Bruce Willis, Quantum
yeah,
Cop.
it's your yeah. Yeah,
But I don't think he'd be right. Oh,
No,
of
what about
course. He's
Tom- what about Tom
Bruce
Hanks?
Willis is a cop
Tom
across
Hanks.
timelines.
Tom Hanks after his time in Family
No,
Ties.
it has,
an
it has to
alcoholic
be
uncle.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
when you
Bruce
think,
Willis.
When
We
you
want it
think
more
Hollywood
masculine.
cop,
Yeah.
Bruce Willis.
Cop of any era because he's
Yeah.
played like olden days cop as well.
Yeah.
Convincingly enough.
Yeah.
In like Last Man Standing, wasn't he?
Yeah,
In
and
that or
he's
something?
futuristic cops.
Yeah.
He's been all sorts
Yeah.
of cops.
He is
He's been-
Quantum Cop.
He is Quantum
He
Cop.
is Quantum Cop. Makes a lot of sense. Bruce Willis.
And
yeah.
now, and we also have the heading for the movie poster. Bruce Willis is Quantum,
Quantum
Cop.
Cop. No, Bruce
Everyone
Willis.
goes, oh, yeah.
Bruce
Yeah.
Willis is, and in brackets, and always has been.
Yeah.
Quantum Cop.
No. I love everything about this.
Oh, I actually want to see a Quantum Cop film.
Right.
I
You
think
know,
it's
you
great.
know what I would like is to discover
This
that
time he's going forward.
It'd be one of those series that flew under the radar. That you went, there were 5 seasons of this.
Yeah. Right.
And when you watch it, it would be an amazing
You
quality.
know, Bruce Willis was in Quantum Cop.
oh, I
Yeah,
didn't-
that's where he got his big break.
I would,
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people say moonlighting, but I think for
yeah.
me,
And
it was
Elizabeth
Quantum
Shue.
Cop. Yeah.
I reckon
Yeah.
Elizabeth Shue was in it as
Best
well.
work apart from Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh,
Quantum was she too
What a
young?
masterpiece.
Yeah, no, that should be right. Yeah, Elizabeth
Yeah.
Shue
Yeah.
she is his like. I guess she starts off his like personal assistant or something, but then she runs Quantum Cop's affairs from like a control room.
Right.
So where's the
Prototype
timeline?
So she's the sidekick.
Yeah, no, but she's
not
like
very.
she's
not
like
very,
the Oracle from
yeah,
DC.
so she's not athletic.
No,
so she
she's
just
nerdy.
shuffles around.
She's got a nerdy,
Yeah.
and the thing is, they've never met because
She's a side shoe shuffle.
He's moving through time streams constantly, so they've never actually met in person. They only communicate. She's in this room communicating with him, but she's in love with him.
Yeah, of course.
And he doesn't know it.
Do you want to hear this? End of season 4, he goes forward in time and he's trying to solve the murder of her. And that's how that season finishes.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's how that
Quantum
season
Cop.
finishes.
And that's how the
Quantum Cop.
series ended.
Yeah, 'cause we lose all our
but
fun.
since then, there's been like a real kind of petition and stuff online
Yeah.
that maybe we could get Bruce back to do a final, maybe for Netflix or whatever. Now we've got
Yeah.
this.
Oh no, I've heard
like the X-Files.
No, I've heard they're actually rebooting it.
Oh, they're
They're
making a new
rebooting
Quantum-
Channing Tatum.
It's Quantum Cop.
Yeah, Quantum Cop.
I watched Channing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're grabbing the
He'll
guy.
dance his way
They're
through
grabbing the
time.
guy
Yeah.
who directed Creed, and
Oh,
they're
is
doing
that
the
right?
big screen
Oh,
reboot
yeah.
of Quantum Cop.
Quantum Cop,
Yeah.
like on the big screen with Channing Tatum as Quantum Cop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, I like it.
You
Really
know-
good. Who's playing Elizabeth Shue's character?
Bruce Willis.
No, Rachel.
Fucking, that's a good idea.
No,
That's
Bru-
a good.
Bruce
Yeah.
Willis plays Channing Tatum's dad, and they've
Yeah.
got Rachel McAdams.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
well
compulsory.
played.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's really
I mean,
good.
We have to use her anyway, so she might as well.
Yeah.
She's very good.
I would love if any teabaggers out there who are good with like Photoshop or something, can you design like an 80s VHS style Quantum Cop movie poster? Bruce Willis is Quantum Cop.
I love that you've asked for that. Like,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have already actually just happened.
Do you think it would have?
There would have been a battle between, like,
Reed Parker,
James
Fosdyke.
Fosdyke, and Colin Geddes.
Yeah, no
So
pressure,
fucking,
guys.
it would have been like that scene from fucking The Dark Knight where the Joker's like, there's an opportunity coming up in an organisation and then splits the pool cue in half and chucks it there and they have to fight each other to the death. That's what that would have been. Quantum Cop.
Can one of you
Come
all?
on.
Can one of you also
If
draw
there
that?
isn't one, if there wasn't one, then I'm shutting down the fucking podcast. Like, seriously.
Can you do the Quantum Cop poster and can you draw that picture of the three of you with a pool cue fighting? I want to see that as well.
Oh, that
I want to
actually would
see.
be very
I want to
good.
see their interpretations
I would
of
quite
that.
like to see
I
that.
think the poster should be predominantly kind of a darkish kind of blue.
I don't
and
like-
orange.
Yes, I said that darkish blue Total
Yeah.
Recall style.
Yeah.
It should be
Right.
Quantum
Yeah.
Cop's
Quantum
face
Cop.
with an obscure
Yeah.
kind of like cosmic geometric whatever. That's the
Yeah.
that's the
E
that's
equals
the time
MC
gate he
squared.
uses or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
E equals MC squared. Like it's really
Yes,
obvious.
that's right.
Yeah.
Written in digital clock writing.
Oh mate, we're going to blow the kids' minds with this bit. No one knows this.
Maybe it's even got the foil, like it's the
Oh,
foil
yeah.
wrapper, just so it looks a bit more
yeah.
futuristic.
Yes. Oh god, I want this so bad.
So, what do you think that Quantum Cop is? Because here's the thing: we understand what the character is, but
Yeah.
the character is not just about the conceit of the show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's a time traveling cop.
But what is he? Who is
But what
Quantum
is
Cop?
he?
How did he find himself
Yeah.
in this situation?
Like, what is he running to or from?
Okay, well, let's start with the obvious comparison is Quantum Leap, right?
Yes, of course.
And he is a scientist who uses himself to,
Yeah.
move through time.
Can you
right?
remind me about? We haven't talked about Quantum Leap recently, have we?
Yeah, we did. yeah. Yeah, we did.
We literally
Yesterday.
again, it's my favorite topic.
That's so funny.
Why the TV show Quantum Leap isn't being mined more. Anyway, let's go on.
So he's a scientist who experiments
Yeah.
on himself and enters the time stream or whatever it is, the dimension stream.
I would like Quantum Cop to be a little bit more Steve Rogers.
He volunteers.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's like
Yeah,
someone...
to do the job that no one else
Because but that doesn't
It's
mean
dangerous. It's a one-way trip.
Yeah, but doesn't
Yeah.
that mean that like Matthew McConaughey style? Like, isn't that a thing of like, but who does he leave behind?
Yeah.
and this is the 80s.
Yeah.
and I don't think they would leave people behind too much in the 80s. It would normally be because he thought his family was killed or
Yeah.
something like that. And
His
he had
wife
nothing less to lose. So,
Yeah, his
but
wife-
then it
his wife had been
But
killed.
then while he's away, time traveling and can't come back. You discover that his family wasn't actually killed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the one time that he wants to get back to is the one that he can't.
Detective Joe Tripper was a good cop with a bad attitude. Destruction of property? Excessive force? What am I supposed to tell the DA? Tell him you're welcome. Recruited into a top secret government program, he must go back in time and stop the most notorious crimes in history. Before they happen.
Temporal access initiated.
Good luck, Detective. We're all counting on you. Story of my life. What are you doing? I gotta be naked to travel through time, right? Blast you, Neil! Would you stop telling them all that? Okay, let's go. Time is running out.
On the contrary, Detective, I think you'll find where you're going, that time is running in.
That makes no sense.
Detective Tripper is in the time stream.
What's wrong?
It's becoming unstable. We're losing him.
What the hell is going on? Now, trapped in shifting timelines, Joe has no choice but to complete his mission, guided from the present by the voice of Dr. Suki Blair.
We're gonna get you home, Joe.
Sounds great, lady. But first I gotta find the Zodiac Killer.
How are you gonna do that?
By using some old-fashioned detective work. And assuming that everyone is a Zodiac Killer. Are you the Zodiac Killer?
What?
Maybe a punch in the nuts will refresh your memory.
Jesus, who are you?
Joe Tripper is Quantum Cop. Suki, what's going on? I'm inside a theater with a bunch of stiffs in suits.
You're in the Ford Theater, Washington, D.C., April 14, 1865.
That's supposed to mean something to me?
Step aside, Yankee.
Joe, that was John Wilkes Booth. He's on his way to shoot Lincoln.
Story of my life. Now, where's that goddamn waiter with my snacks?
Hush now with that cussing, Abe. It's not very presidential.
7 years ago, I gave my order. Now where the fuck is my popcorn? Wait, you're not the waiter?
No, I'm John Wilkes Booth. Sic semper tyrannosus. Tyrannosaurus.
I hope that's Latin for take me to jail.
Unhand me, Yankee.
Don't worry, Mr. President. I got this.
Abe!
Jesus, rim jobbing Christ, he shot my dick off.
Get the president to a hospital. Find his dick. Make sure you don't leave without the president's dick. That rat has it in its mouth. Quick, after it.
Well, Suki, give me some good news.
Congratulations, Joe. You've created a new timeline in which Lincoln goes on to ensure world peace for centuries to come. And you had a new penis made out of brass and oak.
Too bad I won't be around to see it.
The centuries of peace or the penis?
The piece. Sure, yeah, whatever.
Prepare for temporal displacement, Detective.
Story of my life.
Oh, I get it now. That's your catchphrase, isn't it? Let me try one. How about...
And she's cut off by the end credits. Put that in there, MicHAL.
Podcasting. Let's talk about podcasting, right? Because when the Earbuds podcasting documentary is going to come out this year...
Well, sorry, hang on. Firstly, before we get into that, the first thing I'd say about why we can't be that is I don't think you can sum up what we do in a photograph. Like, I think we are an acquired taste. I think that we don't... There's
Boo!
Boo!
Acquired taste!
If you had to sell... All right, you had to pitch TOFOP.
Yeah.
The show or the umbrella organization, if you had to pitch it in a sentence, a sexy sentence, what would that sexy sentence be?
It's nothing for everybody.
Deal. Here's $10 million. Good day, sir. Nothing for everybody.
Well, you know, so like there's something.
Yeah.
I don't think there is something for everybody. I think in every TOFOP podcast, there will be a point where even our most ardent listeners go, fuck these guys.
At some point, you'll reach rock bottom.
We'll end up talking about something because of the wide nature of this. I mean, I look at it in the numbers, like heaps more people listen to Philosophy than listen to this, right? Because for them, that's an easier offer, right?
Yeah.
And you know what you're getting. Whereas this, like, goes from, like, you know, some people who like the comic book shit hate the deeper shit, or some people who like the footy chat hated the, you know, whatever. It's that, it's all of us. So I imagine there's a point in every single episode of this where people are like,
Find
fuck
nothing.
these guys.
Yeah, nothing for everyone.
Nothing for everyone.
You might just be turning around on this. But yeah, I don't know how you sum up that in a Instagram
how is
identity,
this?
a
What is
brand
this?
identity. Like, we're not, I mean, when you think of Beats by Dre, you think, you think Dr. Dre, I guess. Like, that's the kind of association. We don't have, we could write off the Will Anderson thing. You're quite well known. You have a brand.
But it's not quite enough.
It's not, but
It's
it's,
not
also
quite enough.
But it's also not definable either. You know what I mean?
Okay, what we need though,
We need gimmicks. And
maybe
costumes.
maybe we're looking at this the wrong way around. Right. Maybe what we need is to get these social media influencers to start influencing
people to like us.
Us.
That's a great idea.
Right.
We get on Tribe. We put an ad.
Right.
We should using the Patreon money.
Yeah.
To put an ad on Tribe. We'll pay people.
And then we could
to
get some
advertise
sweet
for
just
us.
people going, hey, great day listening to TOFOP.
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
And the more-
we need to be like getting some social media influence out there.
And the more kind of random and incongruous the
best.
context,
yeah,
the better.
More than ever.
Like, you just like to see someone on Everest, like scaling Everest, putting like their earbuds in. Wow, scaled Everest. But you know what? That latest TOFOP was hilarious.
Yeah, right?
Hashtag TOFOP.
Hashtag
hilarious. Hashtag Everest. Hashtag summit. Hashtag climbing. Hashtag ice picks.
Hashtag
Sherpa.
oh, sorry, I've got gloves on. It's really going up here. Hashtag.
Good with the hashtag first, mate. Shit, sorry.
Sorry, hypothermia setting in. Hashtag. Oh, I
I think
did
it
it
just
again.
broke off.
Still love TOFOP.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I'd like to see people listening to TOFOP in all kinds of unusual situations.
Maybe it's got to be situations where we could tag it, everyone relax. Because that's what we've got to get the core message out there as well. Yeah. Because I think if there is a TOFOP like tagline or TOFOP like position, I think it is everyone relax. This is TOFOP, right? Because that's kind of what this is meant to be about. It's just meant to be fun, you know? Yeah. So I think we've got to get the everyone relax. That's how Coke is it. That's how the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Situations?
Yeah.
All right,
that's what we do.
We get like surf. It's like what are the air and rescue guys? You know, the ones who fly on the choppers and save people from fucking like the rocks and shit like that.
And it's one of those ads where you see the drama, like a dramatic situation is about to occur, and then the person like hands the other person some headphones, and then it's just like everyone relax.
Yeah,
this is TOFOP.
And then
so it's like JFK and Jackie driving along like the street, right? And we know the scene. We've all seen it a million times. The footage, the Zapruder footage from the grassy knoll, and then it just pauses, and then like a Jackie that we've hired, and like a JFK come to life, and she hands him some headphones, old school ones, because it's back in the day.
On reel to reel.
And then it's just like, everyone relax. This is TOFOP.
Yes.
Yes!
It's great. It's great. It's kind of like
a plane flies towards the twin. No.
A pilot gets a message in from control.
Nothing for everyone. Oh, yeah. It's just our intro music starts playing.
No! Oh, man. No, that's fantastic. That's a great idea.
But maybe, you know, like if we really were going to cash in on people, like social media influencers, it is one of those things where you get, say, you know, say Sam from The Bachelor, right?
Yep.
She was originally, like, I think she won... Like, she was one of the girls, and she, like, hooked up with The Bachelor, but then he dumped her, like, a couple of weeks later.
Okay.
Right?
She won it and then got dumped.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's your moment.
Right.
We swoop in on those moments where someone's just
Hot
had,
dogs.
like, a...
Hot Dogs has just been arrested for pissing in an alleyway outside a nightclub.
Everyone relax. This is TOFOP. Corey, the party guy, just had that party, burned down his parents' house.
Yes.
Everyone relax.
So we
target people who
social media superstars, people who explode. Chewbacca mum.
Chewbacca mum, perfect. Everyone relax. But I know it has to be in crisis. They have to be like, you know, people who are famous because something shitty just happened to them. You know what I mean? Like when Fabio got hit in the head with that seagull.
Sheen's got AIDS. Everyone relax.
Everyone relax. I mean,
Question mark. Like, I'd love that. The campaign's going gangbusters. All these hilarious, everyone relax, and then it's a really serious one. Charlie Sheen has AIDS, and then it's like, everyone relax? Question mark? I don't know. We should relax about that. He should probably get some treatment.
Yeah, no, maybe just, don't.
Yeah.
Maybe just pay a bit more attention.
Yeah, wear a condom.
You know what? There's an exception to every rule. That's our twist. That's when we bring it back the other way.
Yeah. Nothing for everyone.
Yeah. All right. So there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, I
We'll
like
solve that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go and buy your fucking fur coats. I'm not sure my life can get better than this, Charlie. So is there not something to be said for the fact that maybe, this is the time to shit the box?
I think so.
Right?
I think so. Well, here's the one thing I'll say is that everything ends. Change is inevitable. I think the danger or the anxiety comes into things are great. I don't want them ever to change. Like, I want to freeze this moment right now. I have that feeling constantly. Like, I've had such a great, considering what's happened to me in the last year, I've actually had a really great year. Okay. And part of that is to do with where I live. I love where I live now, and I love early in the morning going down. I'll just walk past the ocean. I'll stare out the water, and I'm like, I feel so lucky. Like, I feel so grateful. And then the immediately following thought is, you can't let this end. Like, if this ends, like, you've got to maintain this. If you let this go, then you'll hate yourself the rest of your life. And it's like, holy shit! Like, where did that come from?
I think that isn't that feeling that everybody gets at a certain stage, and that moment where people go, oh, well, that person's sold out, or that person's blah blah blah. It's rarely about that. It's often about you having something now that you like, and it's not a bad thing to have something you like. Like, I've always said, I'll never do radio again, never do commercial radio again. Except, if I had a couple of kids and suddenly I wanted to, send them to school and needed some money for them, and the best way for me to earn that money was some commercial radio job. If my priorities and environment were different, I have no problem with reprioritizing to suit the environment. And if you like living where you live and it makes you happy to see the ocean every day, I can understand how there's part of you as a human being inside you that says, don't fuck this up.
Yeah. Well, I was reading this book and they talked about, I can't remember what the psychological name for it is, but it's, if you show people if you imagine a movie clip, and it's a happy family, it's Christmas Day, they've just bought a tree and they're driving back home, and you inside the car, the kids are all singing, mum and dad are singing, they're holding hands and stuff, they're flying down the highway. What's the next thing that happens?
Oh, sorry. What do you think I'm going to say? Tell me.
That they get into an accident.
Right. Okay.
Is that what you think?
Yes. Okay. I imagine.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that is 99% of people, you give them that scenario, that's what
I
they
overthought. It was like I was going for a job at Google.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wait,
in my head, I was going,
smart me.
hang on, are you trying to say that women can't be doctors? It's about women can't be doctors, right?
Will, what are your worst qualities? I'm a perfectionist.
Some people say I overanalyze things, but I think those people are really, here's my opinions on them.
I work too hard. I occasionally shit in litter boxes.
Yeah, well, I potentially do. I mean, if the idea of the multi-universe is true and all scenarios exist at once, even the idea that we've introduced this idea means that somewhere, I think that's a very pop science way of explaining that, but it is kind of that idea of like, if it's, if every moment like that, separates off into those different universes, by us even imagining this or actualizing this, somewhere it happened.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to pop my head in and see how that guy's life went.
So you would.
I guess that's the West world I really want.
Right.
I want the West world where you could take kind of like a choose your own adventure of your own life, where you could go back to pivotal moments where you made a decision.
Sliding door moments.
That's your fucking West world. If you could go into sliding doors, so you just go, hey, I want to go back to 15 when I decide
Jenny Wells
right
on the nose,
and I want to see how my life plays out
Yeah.
in that scenario. You could charge people a lot of fucking money for that. Like, how much fun would that be? Just to go back to random points in your life.
Basically, they scan your brain. They have a more detailed map of your memory than anyone.
Right.
And they can go through. They take you on a tour of your history, and they say, "Oh, we found peaks in these particular moments of your life. Do you remember a blonde girl?" And you're like, "Oh my god, da da da." And like, okay, well, we can reactivate that moment for you. Would you like to live that moment again? And you can choose to go back into that moment, but play it out. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, right.
Copyright TOFOP. Charlie. We call it Brain World.
Name pending. But, yeah, I guess that's the thing. You like, the older you get, and I guess that's where that sort of angst comes from people, is you feel more locked into your decisions, and you wonder whether like I've had some financial trouble this year. And again, by the way, when I say I have financial trouble, I have like trouble.
His gold toilet won't flush.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it turns out that truffle toilet paper doesn't flush down the gold toilet. I mean, I have a mortgage in a harbourside suburb. Like, when my sort of financial trouble is not, I don't have like $4 for the bus. It's, maybe a couple of months from now, I won't have enough money to cover my mortgage, So I understand they are very different scale of things. But part of the reason that I don't have that is over this period of my life where it's been going very well, I have kind of wasted my fucking time doing this podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of TOFOP because I've come up with my new idea for that artificial world. So I'm just going to go and work with Elon Musk on that idea. And fuck you all. Fuck you. Please contribute to the Patreon. That should be a new level on our Patreon. We should put in a $10 million level
so
for people who want to contribute to us developing artificial intelligence for our Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, but we don't have to develop artificial intelligence. We
virtual
just need
reality.
We just need to map the. Well, I don't know if it's even virtual reality. I reckon we map out the brain because they're doing this already. Like the strides they've made in studying the brain, they reckon they've learnt more in the last 10 years than they learnt in 500 years of astronomy because of all the machines they can use. But they're getting close to mapping out dreams. Like they have very, very crudely, they can get people to think of a boat in the same way that Todd Sampson controlled that helicopter with his brain because it's based on brain waves. When you think lift, your brain does this. They're starting to map out what visual images do, the patterns you see in the brain. So I don't think you'd be far off being able to go through someone's entire neural history and find all these maps, and then it'd be a case of decoding what these events mean.
Right. So all we're really doing it is in some sort of it's a what's the technology we know?
Operating theatre.
Oh no. People don't want to come in and it's got to be a scan and then and then a headset or something. Do you know what I mean? People like understandable technology.
All right. So like a virtual reality. You put goggles on, and it's like a nice, comfortable helmet.
It's a helmet. Yeah, okay. Like a Magneto-style helmet.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
Yeah, that's filled with snakes. You happy? What was wrong with an operating theatre? Well, that's what you get when you ask me to design your new deployment strategy.
Mate, there's no bad ideas. I just thought maybe we could just make it a little less terrifying to people. Anyway.
So you got snakes.
Operate on your brain.
So I'm laughing because MicHAL normally counts us in, and he, just before he counted us in, he said, "We're doing TOFOP, aren't we?" And Will said, "Yes, please." And I was like, it's so polite. Yeah, yes, please. One TOFOP. One order of piping hot TOFOP.
Please.
Please.
Thank you very much.
I don't think anyone has used please and TOFOP in the same sentence before.
I think that
Please, will you turn off that TOFOP, maybe?
I think that I have reasonably good manners when it comes to saying please and thank you to people. What about you?
No, you're extremely polite. In fact, I think you are polite to a fault. Like, you are so considerate about other people. Sometimes I see you tie yourself into knots because you have a very simple objective, such as, maybe we can get into the pub through this door. But you will stop and chat to whoever is standing outside the door, whether or not there's security or not, and explain what you want to do. Is that okay to get their permission? And is this the door we need to go through? Thank you. Sorry to trouble you. Is that all right? I'm like, well, just fucking go through the door. Deal with the consequences later.
I mean, I never really realized about myself, but you are absolutely right. That is exactly what I am like. I'm like Jason Bourne if Jason Bourne stopped to explain his plans to everybody.
Yeah. I mean, anyone would think you were like Hugh Grant or something.
Right.
Not because of the apologizing, but because you have sex with prostitutes.
Right.
That's just a separate topic. Sorry.
I mean, I felt people would get that anyway.
Speaking of prostitutes.
Oh, here we go. Sex workers.
I have a story.
Okay. Hang on. All right. Hello. Next time on Home and Away.
I was in the Junction, which is
Bondi
sort of
Junction.
Shopping district near where Gemma and I live. And Gemma wanted to go to the gym, and so I had some time to kill. And I was like, I wouldn't mind getting a massage. But, you know, there's a couple of places I go to in the area. Oh, you know where this is going?
Oh, well, I look, maybe it's got a Westworld style twist underneath it, Charlie. But I reckon if this was some sort of game show and I needed to have a guess, I'd lock in an answer right now.
What is a state of embarrassment for Charlie?
All right, tell me more.
So I did a quick Google of, a place in there. I was looking for a Thai massage. I like Thai massage because it's a mix of massage and also they'll stretch and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I came up with these 3 places and I had time. So I thought I'll just wander around and get a vibe and work out which is the place that will get my business. And so the first 2 I went to, it's like, I don't know. You know, one of them seemed like, one was set up like a strange medical lab. It was almost like if you were making a B-grade movie in the 80s set in the future and you wanted to do like a lab, that's what this massage place looked like. It was just a little too trying to be clinical. Like it was all white walls. The receptionist was wearing like a white button-up jacket. You know, it was like they were overcompensating for the lack of scientific process that was going to go into the massage.
Right, yeah. The whiter the lab coats, the less actual science going on in that lab.
Because, you know, like most massage places you go into and they'll have like a little leaflet, little menu of, you know, what you can get.
Well, that was what I was about to say. What are you looking for? What is your ideal environment you want to find yourself in?
Well, I wanted a deep tissue remedial style massage with elements of kind of like stretching. So with a Thai massage, they'll work on the knots in your back and then they'll like grab your arms and bend you backwards like a pretzel and stuff. And that's what I felt like I needed. So remedial,
the pretzel.
Good deep.
You wanted the pretzel.
I wanted the pretzel. But what I really wanted was just someone who knew what they were doing. I would have gone for like a sports massage or whatever if I felt like this place was the place. So this first one I go to...
So what you want is an experienced practitioner over the style of massage. So you'd ideally like a Thai massage, but if it's someone who's really good at Swedish, you'd rather take them than somebody who's just okay at Thai.
Yeah, and I'm not going to go in for like I wasn't looking for a relaxation massage or like a Hawaiian. Have you ever had a Hawaiian massage?
What is a Hawaiian massage?
It's interesting. I've had one because it was recommended to me by someone who said it's quite holistic, and I don't know if I'm using that word in the correct way, but the idea being that it's not just about sort of rubbing the muscles, it's also about like a mental cleansing and blah, 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 blah. So when I went to get the Hawaiian massage, the woman explained like, because I said, my shoulder's been really tight and blah, blah, blah. And she said, okay, I just explained to you, we don't treat sort of injuries. It's not like a sports massage or anything. It's a sort of long, broad strokes. And it's like based on Hawaiian tradition, like spiritual tradition. So there's some like breathing to expel negative energy and all this kind of stuff. And you've got to be completely naked. So this is not the story I'm going to tell.
I feel like, by the way, can I just say, the Hawaiians have really nailed the massage market. They're like... You know what? We could be like, the Thai or whatever and get really involved, but that's really physical. How about we just do one where we don't really have to do that much, just like long strokes.
Well,
and then we just kind of put our hands over them a bit. And they're naked. They should be naked.
It actually is quite an intense... I think it's called a kahuna massage. And it is
I
quite...
bet it is.
It's quite physical for the masseuse because literally, so just say they're doing the back of your leg. They will put their wrist on your Achilles, and then they will run their entire arm up your calf and the back of your thigh using the elbow. So it's like these long. Oh, there we go. It's a lomi massage. MicHAL knows what's up.
What did you call it?
Lomi.
Yeah, but what did you call it before that? The big kahuna?
Kahuna. No,
the kahuna massage.
Yeah, or the lomi.
Yeah, they're not very similar, really, are they?
No, but the place I went to, I think, was called Kahuna Massage.
Right, but isn't kahunas also like a slang term for people's breasts, right?
Really?
Yeah, kahunas, right? Is that not right? Am I not right about that? Have I just made that up?
Have you ever used it?
Kahunas. She's got big kahunas.
No, I think you've mixed up hooters and kajungas. You know what? There's a lot of words that are meaningless, which you could say to me, and I would guess that you were talking about boobs. Like if the sound has a kind of wobble sound in it.
All right, hang on. A kahuna is a wise man or a shaman.
Right.
Okay.
So that would make sense because they do this kind of prayer, and they expel bad energy and stuff.
Oh, well, that's where that expression, the big kahuna, comes from. Oh, I need to see the big kahuna, right? Like, the biggest wise man, the wisest wise man.
So that massage, it is enjoyable because it's like, you're naked and someone's rubbing oil on you, so how bad can it really be? But personally for me, it's like I need someone to actually attack the injured or the tight muscle in my body. So that's what I was looking for. So 80s sci-fi place, they had the little leaflet and photocopied. You know when you get like a leaflet from a $2 shop or something, and the photocopy, it's not, the typeset's not quite right, like the image is kind of skew-if, like it looks like a really cheap copy. So it was one of those, and it had what I assumed on first inspection was that medical symbol, that dagger with the snake going around it, or whatever whatever that symbol is. But then you looked at it, and it was actually just a collection of shapes that they sort of like created like a logo that sort of mimicked whatever the medical association logo is, but wasn't actually that. It's like, going to Bali and getting like a Reebok t-shirt. Right. Reebok. Reebok. You guys wear your Reeboks to the library, right? So I kind of said, okay, ruling that one out, not going to go there. Then I found another place that was a Thai joint, but I like to go to places where you can get like a separate room, because, if you're in a shopping center or whatever, I'll just drag up a sheet or whatever. And that doesn't help me relax. I have a phobia of people like seeing me asleep. Like I don't like the idea of people observing me while I'm kind of prone. So I need like a door that locks. I don't want, just a curtain separating me from the outside world. So place 2, gone. So then I look at this last place and I'm reading the Yelp reviews, and it's all like 5 stars, and men and women saying, oh, this is great. They're so friendly. It's the most relaxing massage I've ever had. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I don't like the first 2. Hopefully third luck's a charm.
Right.
So I walk down about 2 blocks, and as I'm approaching the address, I see there's a bench outside, and there's this like middle-aged man, and he's wearing kind of like sneakers, sort of boardies, like an Oakley t-shirt, Oakley shades, and he's got a pack of smokes in one hand, and he's just like, the kind of drag that dudes do, where it's like just really getting every last bit of nicotine out of that cigarette, like real tight grip.
When they're doing that okay kind of symbol with their fingers to like drag it
between
out.
the index and thumb, and just really just sucking down. So as I'm getting closer, the guy sees me approaching and looks at me and goes, "Nice." I'm like, right, that's weird. And I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. I thought maybe he's checking me out. Maybe I'm nice. And I'm like, all right. So I just give him a bit of a nod and go up the stairs. I get into the place and I'm greeted by this Thai girl. And I'm like, okay, good start. Like, looks like I'm getting a Thai massage. But then I'm like, gee, she's awfully dressed up for like a masseuse. Normally they wear kind of like a pajama or, like a nurse's kind of, smock and kind of like fisherman pants or whatever. But she's like dolled up, she's wearing this black satin top, lots of makeup, earrings and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, hey, come in.
Let me ask you this question. Are you at this point in any way suspicious? Like with now the guy downstairs and the slightly overdressed, is there in your mind at any stage at this point any suspicion that something weird's going on?
100%. Like it was like, okay, so you've seen that new OK Go video that everyone's posting online? Have you seen that?
It's good.
And it happens
you know what? It's really good.
It happens in 4.6 seconds, but there's a huge story unfolding in between all that. So that's kind of what this is. Like,
well, they shot it in. They shot a bit of footage that goes for 4.7. I mean, people may have or may not have seen it by now, but so they shot the thing and then they stretch it out in slow mo, and it becomes this story of the film clip. It is very stunning to watch.
So at what point do we stop? Because it was very cool for a while to write off OK Go as being like, oh, love their film clips, hate their music. But they consistently produce these brilliant music videos. Do we now have to sort of put them in a different category where it's like, okay, they're they're making art videos or they're making, because it's not about the music really. It's about the music video.
No, I was thinking that exact same thing today. I said, they're now doing something that's all their own.
Yes.
Like, I mean, even this song that goes to this isn't a new song. This is like some song from 2014 or whatever. Like, I think
really?
I think even OK Go have gone, you know what? Even we don't want to hear our own music. We don't need to write a new song for this. Let's concentrate on having a new cool idea for the video clip. But they have had a new cool idea for the video clip. I thought they had OK Gone. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was all over for OK Go. They had their fucking moment in the sun because it's hard to keep coming up with cool concepts. But this one's a cracker, I reckon.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, this was my OK Go moment with more potential for sex.
Right.
So I, like you, am polite. So when the girl said, come in, I didn't want to embarrass her or anything. So I thought, well, I'll just give myself a logical reason to leave that doesn't sort of, shine a spotlight on what may be going on or embarrass anyone. So I said, oh, do you have a menu of what's available? And she said, no, just it's a really relaxing oil massage. Just come this way. She was quite keen for my business. And I said, oh, look, sorry. I'm looking for a very specific style of massage. I need like remedial sports massage.
Right.
That's fine. I'll find somewhere else.
On my cock.
So I wheeled around and went back down the stairs. And because the guy on the bench is at the foot of the stairs.
Right.
So I step out and he looks at me and he's like sort of confused because, I mean, some dudes are quick, but that was really quick. And then he said, he said along the lines of, they're good, right? And I was like, what do you come here for? And he said, what do you reckon? And I'm like, okay, we're all on the same page then. But it did get me thinking, hand jobs.
Yeah.
Very difficult to master. Like, here's the problem when you're giving a hand job. I imagine if you're a gay guy or a girl is you are attempting to perform something on someone who is an expert. You're about to cook a meal for Gordon Ramsay. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to pay for sex, I think a hand job would probably be the last thing that I'd pay for.
Here's what I'm going to say about your analogy just for the second. I reckon a meal always tastes better if someone else prepared it for you. So I think that despite the fact that Gordon Ramsay might be able to cook better himself, he'd be rapt to have a night out of the kitchen. He's always in the kitchen, Gordon.
Well,
you know
it
what I mean?
depends though. If the meal was cooked by his wife, then I think he'd be like, oh yeah, that was a good meal, because there's something associated with it. It's about being together and having that meal. If a stranger came up to Gordon Ramsay and said, here's something I whipped up, he may be more hesitant. Or if Gordon Ramsay had gone to a restaurant that he thought was a bit sus and they'd brought out a meal before he had a chance to walk out, I don't know that he would necessarily eat that meal because he's not sure of the quality of the meal.
Okay, well, here's the thing I will say about, like, you say that you're the expert in, like, the hand job. But to be honest, here's what I've never really thought about this, but now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I've stumbled onto something. Like, don't you just mostly keep with the style you first developed? Like, for yourself? Like, for yourself, you kind of, like, develop some sort of style early on. Like, everyone, I imagine, develops... Maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong on this, but you develop in your first couple of years your own style, and then you know what gets the job done for you. So it's not like you then go out of your way and go, like, have you ever Googled, best way to give yourself a hand job or best, like, I don't get fancy shit involved in that process. I'm sure there's things I could, like, electrocute myself with or stick in different places or oils that I could heat up or whatever the fuck it is that would make it better. But I've just decided... like that, that'll do. So I think your Gordon Ramsay analogy is wrong. It's more like me going out for dinner because I'm like, well, this person probably is better because they like cook dinner every day, whereas I don't cook dinner that often. I just need someone to cook dinner for me.
Maybe. I guess it's like, when it comes to yourself, you are like a 7th Dan black belt, right? So you know all the moves. You know all the moves. But there is a repertoire to choose from depending on the situation in which you find yourself. If you're fighting,
5-on-1, you're going to use different parts of your repertoire than if it was just you and 1-on-1. So depending on what you are using, what material you're using with your meal, you know what I mean? Like the circumstances of your meal, where your meal is, the time frame of your meal, I don't know.
Okay, I don't think I can follow the analogy anymore, but my point being that, but what about the idea of sensitivity? Like in that you know more about what it is that makes you feel good, but what you cannot do is be someone else's hands. Like, you are attached to your own body, so it feels in a different way to what somebody else is like, somebody else touching you feels like. Me touching myself doesn't feel like somebody else touching me in any way.
Yeah, I guess it's that thing of you can't tickle yourself, right? There is like something that happens.
You can tickle yourself, but you can't. Like, it's not like your body isn't capable of like doing this tickle, 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 tickle. I'm tickling myself right now. But
it doesn't make you... It doesn't make you laugh or whatever because you're anticipating it.
Yeah.
So all right. I mean, I'm lost in the analogy as well, but we'll wrap up by saying, I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson.